Hey, everybody. Welcome to the SOS Small Business Success Podcast, where we're about building brands for you to survive and developing you to thrive. And oh, you guys, there's so many ways to be able to develop you so that you can do this thriving and growing and evolving and whatever this is that you need to do. You just have to decide what's the path I need to go down in order to grow. What is it that I need to learn? Is it something more technical? Is it something more operational? Is it something personal? Is it some personal growth work that you need to do? It's endless out there to be able to do it. However, you got to make the commitment and you got to make the investment. And I'm going to share with you a couple of opportunities that we have coming up here. So again, I'm your host, Bonnie Bonadeo, and it's welcome back to the SOS Small Business Success Podcast. I say I'm a speaker, coach, author, podcaster, and this week I am doing it all. I actually had an opportunity to be able to be speaking on a stage this weekend with the Sunlights Summit. And so I had the opportunity to teach my Stage Speak method program, how to authentically mastering the art of authentic speaking. I had the opportunity to be able to teach the educators some public speaking skills and presentation skills. So you can imagine the nervousness and the anxiety that sets in when you're a speaker on speaking. So the level of judgment is very high, and but it's one of my gifts, and so I do feel confident in this arena, and yet I'm human, so I still feel judged and I still feel nervous and all of those things that most people do. But I can't tell you how exciting and exhilarating it was to be on that stage and to be able to get back into that speaking mode, because prior to 2020, I was out doing a lot of speaking engagements. And this year, I think I've done 4. And so I'm ready to get back into that. I'm actually on my way this weekend to Seattle to do another speaking engagement. And some of it now is a mix of online and live, but oh, nothing beats live. Nothing beats live. So this week I got to be the speaker that I've always enjoyed being. Of course, I've got to be the coach. In working with a couple new clients over the last couple of weeks has been thrilling and exhilarating as well, because, there's a level of vulnerability in not just being the speaker, coach, author, and podcaster. There's a level of vulnerability and also being a participant to that. So whether you're sitting in the audience or whether you're on the other line as a coach recipient, listening maybe even to this podcast, there's still some level of vulnerability to all of this. So kudos to all of you that are stepping up and doing what is necessary in order to be super fantastic in your life and your business, for your family, for your friends, for your team. Kudos to you. Yeah, I love it. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit, I always share with you guys that this podcast is, circles around the anchors of success here. And those 5 anchors are sales, operations, mindset, marketing, and education. And, we had Vivian McKinder on a couple of weeks ago, and she really focused in on some education, but we also talked about sales and mindset as well, and marketing. I mean, she kind of ran the gamut, of course. And then we had Bridget Sovis from Power of Joy of Coaching. And last week, I think it was last week. And we talked a little bit more on mindset. And then there's obviously an opportunity I'll share with you for you guys to engage with us even further. But today, I think I'm gonna tie this around sales. Now, yes, it does have a leadership component and a communication component to it, which is operations. Yes, there's definitely a mindset to it, because anxiety and vulnerability falls into our mindset. There's always a marketing component to it when sales, because they kind of like, the opposites on a color wheel there. They got to go together, right? You can't have sales without marketing. You can't have necessarily marketing without sales. They have to go together. And of course, it always applies to some level of education, I hope, for you guys when you're listening to the podcast. So speak with confidence. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what it is. You don't have to classify or label yourself as a speaker like, like I do. You're speaking with clients, you're speaking with friends, you're speaking with family, you're speaking with your coworkers, your boss. Like, all of these elements have a speaking part of it. And speaking in itself seems very logical, but the truth is, because we're emotional beings, that we come from a place of emotion first and logic second. Even though we think we're being logical, we're triggering people all day long emotionally with what we're saying. Now, one of the things I shared in the program that I did this weekend for Sunlight's educators at their summit was I shared these numbers: 55, 38, and 7. Okay. And it's 55% of our speaking is our body language. So and 7% is the words we're using, 38% is the tone. So people aren't necessarily paying attention to what we're saying, they're watching us. And that's more of a GPS system of, do I like them? Do I trust them? Are they believable? And then, of course, the tone that we're using. Are we using a tone that's condescending, belittling? Are we using a tone that's victimness or villain? Are we trying to be the hero in the conversations that we're having with people? Are we over educating or under educating, in a sense? Are we being authentic in our approach with that? And tone, boy, woo, all of that shows through in tone. And then, of course, 7% was words. So they're only listening to 7% of what we're saying, is what it comes down to. They're reading our body language and listening to the way we're expressing our words as a gauge for them to be able to determine, do I trust you? Do I like you? Okay. And we have a tendency to get that wrong a lot of times when we're consulting with clients, or as leaders consulting, or providing feedback for our team. And I want to reassure you that there's a lot more education that I'm going to be pulling out this fall that's going to kind of cater to more communications, more speaking, and of course, listening. Because, one of the posts that I did, I think this past week, was that listening is a prequel to communication, to good communication. So you got to be a good listener in order to be a good communicator, right? So we're going to talk about speak with confidence. So here's just some of the fun pictures that I had. So if you're listening to me on the podcast, you guys, that you can go onto YouTube and watch my podcasts as well, so that you can kind of engage with the slides and the pictures, because each week I also do slides and pictures as well. Anyway, there's this beautiful group shot of the Sunlight's team. And of course, if you're familiar with Candy Shaw, Jameson Codner, her son, the Bali Lama, and the Bali Lama's son, and then of course Adrian, Jameson's wife, but also one of the high level Sunlight's educators, Lefty Bali Lama. Then you would know that their signature color is sunshine yellow. So I walked into the room getting ready to present, and the room was like a sea of sunshine. It was beautiful. Everybody looked fantastic. I've never seen a group look more fantastic. Candy and her team at Sunlights, they know how to pull this together. They know how to brand. They know how to engage. They know how to inspire. They know how to educate. And if you are not familiar with the Sunlights brand as a balayage product and a wet care line, like a fantastic, support products, you need to find out more about this. Candy has done numerous educational events of balayage techniques, as well as French cutting. I'm suggesting you find them and follow them if that's where you want to get better educated on. But I had this perfect opportunity to be able to teach their education team presentation skills. This is the other number I threw out there for them: 75. 75% of us are afraid of public speaking. And that is followed by death, spiders, and fear of heights. Okay, so I'm not worried about the death thing. My time's up. I get it. Spiders. Yep. Nope. That is definitely one of my fears. And heights, it depends on the situation. Like I have no problems being in a plane, but climbing ladders, doing things like that, I'm a little bit more uneasy on, or big staircases or things like that. Yeah, a little uneasy with that. Public speaking, no, not a chance. Not even one iota. Yes, do I still get nervous before I have to present? Do I still like mess up? Yes, of course. But I prepare and practice. And because I love it so much, and I really think it is a gift that I've been blessed with in my life to be a good communicator, that I had a great time. But a lot of people did express that public speaking, so 75% of them in this room were a little nervous about it. Some people shared their level of anxiety and nervousness in it, and I've got solutions, you guys. I've got perfect solutions. So anyway, I'm going to introduce my Stage Speak program, Pro Session course. It is a 6-week course that is virtual and live online with me over the course of 6 weeks. So you got 6 really powerful virtual sessions that you would watch on this breaking down the staging method. And then there's 3 live interaction sessions with me and the group to be able to kind of like practice some of the skills, take things a little bit further, be able to provide some coaching for people. So if you're interested in that, I'll share that link for you to join in there. Now, obviously, they got a session that kind of preempted this particular program. I'm not going to be doing a webinar on this until we get into a little bit more into fall, but you're welcome to go through the course, and you're still going to get as much and be able to maximize as much as you can out of there. So I'm going to just stop share for a minute, and I'm going to do a little bit of a different view here, a fun little view. And yeah, let's do this one here. I'm going to do this one. Here we go. No, that's not the one I wanted. Let's do a different one. Hang on. Oh, here we go. This is the one I want. All right. So if you're watching me, you guys, I just put on an immersion view on Zoom that is so much fun to do. And it's me sitting in like I'm an attendee in an audience. And me being an attendee in an audience, I can tell you that what we are doing is we're judging you on that stage. We don't want to. We want you to do your best. We hope that you do your best. We hope that we learn something and gain something out of this time that we're sitting here listening to you. Okay. But the truth is, we're judging you for a couple different reasons. One, because we're judging you because we don't think we can be as good as you at it. And so even though you're trying to teach us how to be good at this, we are stuck in this in this space of saying, I'm never going to be able to have the confidence to go up on stage and do what she did or he did. Okay. We're judging you because we want to believe that we're better and that we could do a better job than what's being done on the stage at that point. And maybe so, maybe you are better. And that's great. That's absolutely great. But from this point right here, being the audience member, you have to remember that the speaker has to be connected to the audience. And if the speaker's not connected to the audience, then disengagement, disconnection, and of course, a lot more judging is going to take place in there. So when I'm teaching this Stage Speak program, I'm really teaching you how to emotionally connect with your audience. Because remember, if it's only 7% of what we say, okay, and it's more of how we're coming across to people, are we being honest? Are we being, joyous? Are we being supportive? Are we being empathetic and compassionate? That's what people need in order to learn, especially adults. Adult learning and adult teaching is very different. And we have to be able to respect the fact that we as adults have had numerous more experiences than, say, a child or an adolescent. Okay. And because of those experiences, we're drawing from our emotional part of our brain to be able to kind of like measure things up. Okay. Compare things, oh, I've seen better than her, or, oh, she's the best that I've seen. I don't think I'm going to be ever as good as her because, when I was in grade school and I was in a speech class, I failed it. So all of those experiences that we've had keep coming up. We may have been on a stage, got really nervous, and then just felt like we did a bad job. And then we didn't get feedback from anybody, or we didn't allow people to provide us feedback to be able to say, you did great, or I learned so much from you. And so we kind of walk away in that space of, oh, I'm not good at this. I might be able to balayage a head of hair, but I'm not good at being able to teach people how to balayage. And, this has been a big ongoing issue in our industry for a long time, that the influencers were starting to super exceed the educators in our industry. And there's a difference, okay? There is a difference. You can be an expert in multiple things, but just because you're an influencer on, social media doesn't mean you're a great educator. And just because you're a great educator doesn't mean you're a good influencer. And I think we all discovered that, because no matter how good we've been as an educator, we can't build our Instagram portfolios to save our soul. I know that's true for me, but I don't worry about that stuff anymore. I don't need millions of people, in order to powerfully do the work that I'm doing. I need one or two, because my role as an educator is to teach one person at a time. Now, there might be 10 of you in a group or 100 of you in a class, but my goal is to be able to help one person at a time. That's how I do it. So I don't worry about stats and numbers of social media and everything. Now, does it help? Certainly, certainly, if there was a way that I could do it, but it's the time commitment, and to be an expert in that field is not as important for me to be an expert in the fields that I'm in. So you can't sweat that stuff, okay? But it did kind of create a little bit of a crinkle in our industry of that a lot of these influencers were being kind of like invited in to be the educators when they weren't really taught how to be good educators yet. And so they were falling flat of being able to deliver on their goods, because, a 30-second reel or a, 90-second educational video is a lot harder than 90 minutes of being able to stand and deliver and keep an audience connected, engaged, inspired, and, and calling them into action at that point. So there are skills that you can learn. So if you're interested in being a part of Stage Speak, I would love for you to join us. Now we've got, I'm gonna go off my immersion here and go back to here. Here we go. And I'm going to go back to share screen, because I've got some things I want to share with you before we wrap it up today. Okay. So yeah, so I had a blast at this. I'm looking forward to doing more with these educators and being able to help them dive deeper and get them through. So the Pro Session course, Stage Speaks Pro Session course, authentically connecting you to your audience, building that emotional connection. It's based on neuro-linguistic influence. That was a hard word for me today. Improved communications, emotional intelligence, impactful outcomes. And listen, I'm going to be your guide to the successful speaking opportunity that you're aiming for. So the start dates are August 21st and October 2nd. Now, August 21st is just when the program actually opens up for you to start viewing the sessions, okay? There's no commitment for you to be with me on August 21st. The live sessions happen the next week and then throughout the 6-week course. So once you sign up, you'll see those live dates available that you'll want to put on your calendar. You'll also get an email with the live dates so that you can get them on your calendar. So it's just a start date of when it opens up. But you can start anytime that week or anytime within the 6-week period. You'll just want to make sure that you make a note of the live sessions. Live sessions, of course, if you can't make it, are going to be recorded and uploaded into the platform. So there's no worry in regards to that. You're not going to get less than. But again, we know that showing up live, you always get more value. So I encourage you to do that. So it's 6-week virtual, and live online training. It's $325 for you to join this 6-week program with me. And, you don't have to try and finish it all in 6 weeks. You can stay in it for about 10 weeks before I kind of close it out and then launch it again. So, but you'll have all the downloads of workbooks and handouts, everything to be able to keep you inspired with that. And then I will always I have a Facebook group that I can always engage with you further in. And there'll be an opportunity for you guys to show up to some other live sessions as well. Like anybody that's been through the program, I'll open up additional live sessions for you as well as we progress. So it doesn't have to end, but there is a timeline for you to get through the online course so that you can learn what you need to learn and start applying it, right? So that's the Stage Speak Pro session course. Yeah. Now, the other thing that I'm doing that's coming up here on August 15th through the 17th, so the week prior to Stage Speak opening up, is I'm going to be Bridget Sobis and I. She is the Power and Joy coach, and her and I are going to be doing some Facebook live streaming. And we're calling it Bold Conversations with Bridget and Bonnie. Now, I shared this in my podcast last week, or the week before, so that you guys can be a little bit privy to what's happening here. It's going to be on my Facebook Live. We're probably going to share it onto some other pages and as well. I'm still not an expert in that again, so however we can get it across the platforms, we're going to do it. But you can also join us on Zoom too, if you want to be more engaged with us and more interactive with us as a session. So Tuesday through Thursday, August 15th through 17th, it's going to be 4 p.m. Join us at 4 p.m. And seriously, guys, we're going to have conversations that are going to look like, oh my God, diving deep into meaningful discussions. We want to gather a bunch of bold minds in our industry and have some thought-provoking conversations on the status quo of things, and kind of maybe look at some new perspectives that are happening, unfiltered. Okay. We're going to talk about trends. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about personal growth and what you can be doing for yourself in order to have that personal growth. We're going to talk about the state of our industry and the future of our industry. Anything. I mean, there's going to be no topic that's going to be off limits. Maybe, but all of them have to kind of come into play here. But we're gonna explore this. We're gonna try it out. We're hoping that you guys will engage with us on Friday. Although Tuesday and Thursday is going to be 4 p.m. Eastern time, so we know that's not an ideal time for all of you guys to join us. But some of you can join us on one of those days. Friday, it's going to be at 10 a.m. So we hope that you'll join us there. So if you're a salon owner, a spa owner, another coach in the industry, it's your day off from working behind the chair, or doing services on clients, join us in this conversation. We're just going to let it roll and have some fun with it. And you'll see the actual link if you wanted to join us on Zoom as well. That will be posted on there. Okay. So no topics off limits, no ideas too wild. We're going to embrace your voice, and we're going to have a voice in this as well. And we want you to be part of this bold conversation moment here. Okay. All right. I'm so glad I got to share with you guys today. I appreciate all the follows, all the referrals, all the shares. To all my clients, thank you again for trusting in me to be able to help you to be able to grow. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. But you can always reach out to me, DM me, send me a message on social, or you can email me, bonnie@bonniebonadeo.com. If you have questions about anything that I share with you guys, I'm happy to oblige. All right. Look forward to seeing you again soon.